What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video for Friday, April 26th. We are back. If you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. We have giveaways every single video, 2 of them, and we break down DFS, I think, unlike other DFS providers. So if you're looking for something new, yes, the videos are a little bit longer, but hopefully they're more informative to help you build yourself into a great DFS player. If you need a little bit more help, we do have FTA Plus on the website under the FTA Plus tab, so on and so forth. We got MLB, NASCAR, PGA, NBA, and NFL once it comes back. So that being said, we have 2 giveaways every video. First one, like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. If you leave a comment and the video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. 100 likes on this video, a free month. 150 likes, a free $200 year. And if this video gets 200 or more likes, you leave a comment, you have a chance to win a $500 lifetime pass. Second way to do it, like the video, be a subscriber, and tell me who is going to hit a home run and what inning do you think they'll hit it in. If you get both of those correct, take a screenshot of your comment on this video and email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and we will get you set up for a free week. So we are going to see who the winner of yesterday's video was. So looking at that, we are going to, and you can come back every single day and continue on and on and on, and you can win every day. Yesterday's winner won multiple times. So, and within like a week, I think. So let's see who the winner of yesterday's video is. Maybe it's the same person if they left a comment. JKB1026, keep up the good work. Love the deep dives. Thank you. If you see this, like it, and then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, with your username from the website. Or if you need an account, tell me a username and an email you would like, and we will get you set up for your free pass. So, JKB1026, you will be the winner of a free week of FTA Plus, starting today if you get a hold of me. So, that being said, we do look at some of these games. For whatever reason, we have this early game here. Well, it's probably because the draft is going on in Detroit, I would guess. So we can't play this game. This is one of those games where it's a single game. So we're not going to touch this one. We are going to start with the normal slate here. Athletics versus Orioles, I don't need to break it down too much. Stripling versus Corbin Burns, absolutely love Corbin Burns. I am looking at Corbin Burns. I am looking at the Orioles bats. I would look at Santander. I mean, we could dig in. You know who's doing well. Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Westburg, I'd look at. Colton Cowser, still too cheap. Adley Rutschman, Ryan Mountcastle, Cedric Mullins. All of these in the dark red are what you want to focus on. You know, Jackson Holiday at some point has to do something. Has to, or he'll get sent down. Kierstad here, I mean, you know, got called up, still on the cheap end. You could look at him as well. But I want nothing to do with Stripling or any of the Oakland bats. I am all in on Corbin Burns, probably my favorite plays, the picture of the video and the article, and an Orioles stack here. Next game, Dodgers versus the Blue Jays. We've got Gavin Stone versus Chris Bassett. Now, we look at this. We can see Gavin Stone really hasn't seen many of the Blue Jays. Bassett, 104 plate appearances, 239 batting average here. So we can kind of look at this and see that Gavin Stone, right now, depending on what you're going to get out of him, I don't know which Toronto team is actually going to show up. That's the only thing that I am weary about. Toronto's been okay in some games and just gotten absolutely rocked in the other games. Chris Bassett, on the other hand, a great ground ball pitcher. Looking at what he's brought to the table, he does have a 3.9 ERA. He's given up some hits. Runs are there. His earned runs for him, which seem kind of un-Chris Bassett-like right now, I don't know what I'm going to like to think about him right now. So we just kind of see overall, the Dodgers offense has been weird. Like, they're not putting up runs against pitchers they should. They're putting up runs against some other pitchers, and then they're just not winning games like we're used to. So on the other hand, looking at this, I think both are fantastic tournament options. I don't think I trust either of these guys in cash. There are other pitching options that we could look at. Bats wise, I mean, you kind of know with the Dodgers, if you're not going to go with Chris Bassett, obviously you're going to go with Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, a little bit of Will Smith. I could see James Outman will be a cheaper option. Max Muncy is okay. Andy Pages, I don't know if he's going to start, but I would look at him. I like him more against lefties, but I will take into effect here that like they're plays that we can use. Flip side of that, if you don't think Gavin Stone has got what it takes, doesn't have the stones, as they would say, Toronto bats, Vlad, Davis Schneider, Justin Turner are the top three. Then you dig in a little bit. Addison Barger, I don't know if he's going to start. Would be a cheap option. Has not done much. Obviously, just got up there. Ernie Clement, not a lot of red, but not really a lot of blue. You could look at him. George Springer, if we think he's going to be in for a good time, he's at the top of the, most likely will be leading off the game. And then another one I would look at would be Dalton Varsho. The other ones, like Bo Bichette's really expensive on most sites for not having done a ton this year. And yeah, I just don't trust him enough. I did forget to mention, at the end of this video, currently we are running 10,000 simulations. At the end of the video, we're going to give you the top 20 bats after those 10,000 simulations. About 2 hours before lineup lock, we then give you 20,000 simulations. So that is all on the website under the MLB tab and the simulation model. So all of that is there. Questions, get those down below. We'll try to answer them. I did mention in yesterday's video, but I am looking for someone to make a YouTube intro and outro for these videos. And if anyone knows of anyone or you do it, let me know. Get a hold of me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. I can pay you or I can give you FTA Plus for free, whichever one you want. I don't care. I need some good intros and outros, maybe even individual sports, basketball, football, baseball as well. So I am looking. If anyone knows anybody, hit me up. Give them my information. Hit me up on Twitter, whatever it is, the website, the email, or Discord. Let's get it popping there. So that being said, I mean, it's not tournaments. I'm okay with both these guys. I do not trust in cash though. Then you got the Cubs at the Red Sox. You got Cutter Crawford, who's been absolutely amazing right now. Thought he was going to be pitching earlier. He did not. He has the best ERA of all starters right now. 5 games started, .66 ERA. Only giving up 2 earned runs, 11 walks, so a little bit high on the walks, but has 30 strikeouts. But flip side of that, Amanaga, we have used him. He's the third, so this could be a very low-scoring game. Amanaga, .84 ERA, only 4 runs, 2 of them earned, 21 strikeouts, 14 hits. So he's given up less hits than Cutter Crawford and has just a little bit higher ERA. Honestly, I think this is a pitcher's duel. I think both are great for cash or tournaments. I am not, unless our simulations show to take batters in this one, I am all over taking both of these pitchers here. I think both are great. I think if you could afford it, you could go both pitchers in the same lineup if you find the correct stack to go around. Speaking of some of the stacks that we do like, in the description of this video will be today's article, which includes pitchers that we like, batters that we like, and 3 of our stacks that we like in this game. So definitely go check that out. Next game, Cardinals at the Mets here at Miles Mikolas versus Jose Budo. So we look at this, and I don't know what to expect out of Mikolas. Like, this is a fantastic pitcher's park, but he comes in with a 6.49 ERA, only 20 strikeouts in 5 starts, 33 hits, 19 earned runs. I think I would rather focus on the bats in this one because then you can look at Budo here, and he's never faced the Cardinals before. So tournaments, I'm okay with him. I would not use him in cash, and I am not on the Mikolas train here. So if we look at the bats, that would make sense. I think the obvious bats for if you're targeting Mikolas and you're looking for, why'd that go all the way down? And you're looking for some good bats for the Mets, Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, rather take him against lefties, but I'll take him while he's healthy. I mean, Tyrone Taylor would be a cheap tournament option for me. Lindor, exit velo's not very hard, but everything else is red. Pete Alonso, up and down, but against Mikolas, I think could be what fixes his ailment, at least for this game anyway. Another cheap option for the Mets would be DJ Stewart. That's probably where I'd go. Maybe a little bit of Harrison Bader if he's in there. But yeah, I would go with those Mets bats. And then honestly, Cardinals bats at the moment don't really jump out to me. If you're looking at ones that have been doing well, Alec Burleson, Ivan Herrera, Brendan Donovan, Wilson Contreras has been hitting the ball. Those would be ones that I'd look at. Don't know if I want to pay it for Paul Goldschmidt or Arenado right now. They're kind of expensive for what they've put on the table, if you understand what I'm talking about. So that's kind of my thought process in this game right here. So maybe a little bit of Jose. I don't think I want to take any Mikolas today. Nationals at the Marlins got Trevor Williams versus Jesus Luzardo. Williams, 92 plate appearances, 273 batting average. Luzardo, 55 plate appearances, 204. I would take Luzardo in this one, and I would take some of the Marlins bats. So the Marlins that have had success or that are hitting very well right now, obviously Jazz is at the top there. Josh Bell's a switch hitter. You could look at him. Brian De La Cruz you could look at. Luis Ariz is actually, I don't know what's going on with him. He's still cheaper than he should be on most sites. You could look at him. I would also look a little bit at Jesus Sanchez. I would not be looking at, I don't trust Tim Anderson enough. Like, he could go off, but I just don't trust him enough. If for whatever reason you're not going with Luzardo and you want to buck the trend and you want to go against it, Luis Garcia Jr. I could look at. CJ Abrams I don't mind. Hybrid Ruiz if he's in there, I don't mind him either. But I'd rather focus on Luzardo and some of the Marlins bats. I'm not saying that I'm going to use the Marlins bats. I might not use one of them. But I'm trying to give you a breakdown of every game and all of the bats that make sense here. Guardians versus the Braves. You got Logan Allen versus Chris Sale. Now, Logan Allen's never faced them before. The Braves faced a ton of lefties this week. Didn't really smash them as much as I thought they would. So in tournaments, I'm okay with Logan Allen. I'm completely okay with Logan Allen. Flip side of that, Chris Sale, 42 plate appearance, 278. I don't know. Like, Chris Sale, he's healthy as of now, which is great. That's what we need. But will he stay that way? That I don't know. So Chris Sale right now, 4.38 ERA. It's kind of a little bit up there. You could look at some of these bats for Cleveland. You could look at Jose Ramirez, who had a grand slam on Thursday. You could look at Josh Naylor, even though it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup. You could look there. Gabriel Arias you could look at. Sale does get strikeouts. That is true. And then Logan Allen, 5.06 ERA. That scares me. Never having faced the Braves, I could see for tournaments, but I think I'd rather focus on the Braves bats, lefty or righty bats. Austin Riley, Acuna. I think Acuna steals a couple bases. I put that as a bet. Marcell Ozuna. So Acuna, Ozuna, Riley. You could look at a little bit of Orlando Arcia. Adam Duvall normally feasts on lefties. Maybe he'll be in there for a cheaper option too. So Logan Allen, if you're making like 50-plus lineups, I'm okay with him being a tournament pick. But both of their ERAs are kind of up there that I don't know if I trust either of them. I'd rather take bats here, just with the other baseball or the other pitcher options that we got on the slate. Don't overthink this one. Next one, Rays at the White Sox. This is another one not to overthink. 99.999% of the time this year when you've taken a pitcher against the White Sox, you have cashed. Eflin, 51 plate appearances, 306 batting average. But let's see if it's like one or two players. It might be. Like Pilar's 5 for 9, which is 556. Andrew Vaughn's 2 for 5, which bumps it to 400. Eloy is 2 for 4, which is a 500 batting average. Other than that, not a ton. Andrew Vaughn's got a home run. Kevin Pillar's got a home run. I would still take Zach Eflin here. Just because the White Sox, they're so bad. Eflin's got a 3.68 ERA, so it's in the middle. It's not terrible. 26 strikeouts in 5 games is not the best, but you could still take him. I would still focus on Eflin. I would still focus on a pitcher against the White Sox. Now, honestly, a couple of years ago, I would say, hey, let's take some of these Tampa Bay bats. They've not been good. They've just been kind of bad this year. I don't think I trust either of them. I don't trust either offense. I would rather just take Eflin and move on to a different game, to be honest with you. Next game, Reds at the Rangers. You got Graham Ashcraft versus Nate Eovaldi. Ashcraft, 21 plate appearances, 188. So he's actually had success against them in the past. Tournament-wise, I'm okay with it. I think a lot of people are going to be on this Texas team. It's at home. I would like it a little bit better for bats if it were in Cincinnati, but we can't always get what we want. And then Eovaldi here, 27 plate appearances, 250. Here's the difference. So we look at Ashcraft's got a 5.24 ERA. Eovaldi's got a 3.30 ERA. So coming off, I think he gave up a couple of runs his last game. 28 strikeouts in 5 games is not a ton, but the Reds can strike out if they need to. I think both of these both of these pitchers are in play. I think Eovaldi's more of your cash. I think Ashcraft is more of your tournament option. But if you guys are going to use just the bats instead, we can look at the bats that have been hot right now for both teams. Tyler Stevenson, usually like to use him more against the lefty, but he's manageable today. Ellie De La Cruz, switch hitter, so it doesn't really matter lefty on righty. Spencer Steer's been hitting the ball. I mean, everything's red for Spencer Steer. CES a little bit, Encarnacio Strand, striking out a little bit too high, walking a little bit too low, but those are the only two marks against him, I guess we'd say. Nick Martini would be a cheaper option. Bubba Thompson, if he's in there. Again, I don't know if these guys are even going to be in this lineup. And the flip side of this, the Rangers bats. Adolis Garcia is the one that's been hitting the best on the team because he's on roids, which is fine. Steroids saved baseball, okay? Let me know, do you believe steroids save baseball? I do. And Manfred is trying to ruin baseball. But another, Seager, I could use Seager. He's a lefty. Jonah Heim, you could use Jonah Heim, but he's not been the best. Wyatt Langford, while he's not hitting the ball, if he gets on, he's stealing bases. So that is a plus to him. Maybe a little bit of Evan Carter, too. Not a ton. I don't trust a ton of these guys right now. But once it gets hot and humid in Texas, the ball's just going to start flying out of here. Moving on to the Yankees at the Brewers. So right now, we don't know who's pitching for the Yankees. It should be... I'm trying to think. Let's see real quick. Cortez pitched yesterday. Then it was Schmidt before him. Stroman before him. Rodon before him. So who am I missing? I don't know why it's not showing around. Luis Gil? Could be Luis Gil in this one. And he did face... so he pitched on Sunday. So it could be Luis Gil, or it could be... Yeah, it should be Luis Gil. So we'll kind of wait to see if it is him. Whoever it is, most likely. I don't know why it's not showing yet, which is kind of crazy. But as long as everything's good, I would take Luis Gil here against the Brewers. I don't trust anything that has to do with Brewers bats. There's nothing that I like about the Brewers bats here. I would take Luis Gil. I would take the Yankees bats. Colin Ray, only 18 plate appearances against the Yankees, so really hasn't seen them. Maybe about the equivalent of one start, or it's probably, I'm trying to think who would be a batter on this. So Rizzo's 1 for 2, Judge is 1 for 1. So yeah, I mean, he's one start. Judge has been, and if you watched this video 2 days ago, I said Judge has been hitting the crap out of the ball. He's been hitting the ball well. He just has been hitting it directly at people. And then Wednesday night, a monster home run in the first inning. He's where he needs to be with the ball, and that's exactly what we needed out of him. So we look at that. Glaber's still one that he's just not looking right. So bats that I would use, Juan Soto had a massive home run. You had Glaber, who's been so I would be off Glaber. I'd be on pretty much everyone: Volpe, Judge, Soto, Stanton, Oswaldo Cabrera. Rizzo's been actually on fire lately, so Rizzo would be another bat that would make a lot of sense to me today. So looking at this, if it is Luis Gil, we're waiting on news. I would take Luis Gil. I would take the Yankees bats. I don't want anything to do with the Brewers bats. Moving on to the Twins at the Angels. Now, Bailey Ober I thought was going to pitch on Thursday, but whatever, or the last video, but he did not, so they pushed him back a start. So Ober's never faced the Angels before. It's honestly Mike Trout. That's the offense. You got a little bit of Logan O'Hoppe. You've got Taylor Ward, and that's it. If he can get around those guys, there's not a ton that really stand in his way. Hasn't seen very many people, so 2 plate appearances is it. So there's not a ton there. We look at that, and then Patrick Sandoval, we look at what he's brought to the table. 51 plate appearances against this Twins team, a 190 batting average. I don't mind him as a tournament option. I think Ober's a cash option, a cheaper, middle-of-the-road option here. I think Patrick Sandoval is one that I don't trust in cash because there are some righty bats that could dominate him in this game, but I do kind of like him for tournaments. I think he'll be under-owned here. I don't think a lot of people will be on him, and I think that's something that we could at least look at and take advantage of a little bit. So that's kind of my thought process in this one. The bats, though. So if you're looking at bats, maybe you don't want either pitcher. You want to look at these bats. So for instance, the Angels, basically, I said what I said. Sano a little bit, but it's Taylor Ward, Logan O'Hoppe, Mike Trout. Brandon Drury's borderline on the blue. Everyone else down here is on blue. Zach Neto would be a cheap option, but there are other shortstop options on this slate. So, yeah, it's basically Sano, Taylor Ward, Logan O'Hoppe, and Mike Trout. If he can get around Trout and Ward, I think he should be pretty good. Flip side of that, if you don't trust Patrick Sandoval, Alex Kirilloff's been hitting okay. Christian Vasquez usually starts against lefties. He would be a cheap catcher option today. Byron Buxton, got to use him before he gets hurt. Edward, you could look at. If you really want to reach, Jose Miranda, I think he's got first base and third base eligibility, at least on DraftKings. So I don't know about FanDuel or Yahoo. I don't play on Yahoo, but I think he's got both of those. That's kind of it. I don't trust any other ones in this lineup. So Ober for tournaments, Sandoval, or Ober for cash and Sandoval for tournaments, I'm okay with. Don't love, but I'm okay with that one. Diamondbacks at the Mariners. The Mariners' offense has just looked lackluster for the majority of the season. Gallen, not the best start his last time out, I don't believe, but we look at him. He does have a 3 ERA, 32 strikeouts in 5 starts, only 9 earned runs in that. So I would take him, and I like this that it's on the road and not in Arizona, which is Coors Field Jr. So I would look at Zach Gallen. Emerson Hancock, he has not faced them before, but he comes in, has a 6.1 ERA, only 15 strikeouts in 4 starts. I would be looking at the D-backs bats. I would be looking at Ketel Marte at the top. Corbin Carroll, wouldn't be surprised if he gets at least a stolen base or 2. Jock Peterson against a righty. I don't mind him either. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. a little bit, Christian Walker, but I would stick with, basically, if you are looking at a stack against the Mariners, I would look at the top 4 to 5 batters for this team. Gabriel Moreno, if he's in there, I don't mind him. I usually like to take him more against lefties, but you could sway me to take him and feel okay about it. But I want Zach Gallen. I don't want anything to do with Hancock. I don't like his ERA. So I am focused on Gallen and and Arizona bats in this one. Next one, Phillies at the Padres. This is a pitcher's park. Aaron Nola against them, 49 plate appearances, 196 batting average. Joe Musgrove, 120 plate appearances, 235. Both are good. I would rather focus on Nola, at least for cash. He would probably be the picture of the video and article if Corbin Burnes didn't have a dream matchup here. The only thing that could make it better for Burnes is if it were in Oakland. But I'd look at Nola for cash or tournaments. Musgrove, probably just tournaments. But the bats that I would, if you're going against Musgrove and you want to take Philly bats, Schwarber at the top, obviously, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper. Like, I'm looking at these guys. You could go Bryson Stott. I think he's a little bit, will be under-owned, under the radar with all the other picks at his position on the website. So that's what I would look at. Padres bats, if you're going against Nola for whatever reason, you could go Ha-Seong Kim. I believe he had a home run on Thursday. Tatis, Machado should be in there. I believe. We'll see. Cronenworth a little bit. Jerks and Profar I'm okay with. Those would be the ones that I'd look at. But I'm mainly focused on Nola and Philly over Musgrove and San Diego bats. Then the final game on the slate, we got the Pirates at the Giants. Quinn Priester versus Kyle Harrison. Priester, 3 plate appearances, giving up 3 hits in those 3 plate appearances. Kyle Harrison's never faced anyone on this team before. You look at Kyle Harrison has a 5 ERA, only 24 strikeouts in 5. Honestly, I kind of like the Pirates as a stack here. It is a pitcher's park. I don't think I'm going to use either pitcher. I would rather look at Andrew McCutchen leading off. I could see a leadoff home run out of him. He's been pretty on fire lately. Cabrian Hayes, I don't mind him. The other bats that you might go under the radar, might not think about. O'Neal Cruz. Michael Taylor against a lefty would be a cheaper option. Cabrian Hayes, McCutchen, those ones I'm for sure with. Then if you want to get into the sticks a little bit, Henry Davis, if he starts. I don't know if he'll start. Maybe Joey Bart. He could start instead. So watch that. Connor Joe, when he was with, now this was in Colorado, but when he was against a lefty, you always wanted to take him. But that was in Colorado. I don't know if he'll start, but I mean, that would be a cheap option that I think a lot of people will be off of, that they might not be focused on. Now, for whatever reason, if, Giants bats, because I don't think I trust Quinn Priester. Just not enough for me. It is a pitcher's park, but probably avoiding both of these pitchers. Patrick Bailey's one of the hottest hitters right now, young catcher. Matt Chapman you could look at. Jung-Ho Lee. The other two would be Conforto and Lamont Wade Jr. Those would be the ones. I mean, you can see. For the people, so I do know some people listen to this in the car, and for the people that are watching this on YouTube, you can see the red. Now, what I mean by that is if you need to go on the computer, go to baseballsavant.com, and you can see all of the StatCast. Now, you see this, but there's so much more you could dig into if you had time. If I dug into every single game like this, these would be 2 to 3 hours long, and I just don't have that much time. So I do apologize. I don't have 3 hours a day to get you a video out, but I'm giving you what I got. Hopefully this helps you. Hopefully it makes it a little bit easier on you. Obviously, it's a feel-good Friday. We love to hear all of your great stories. So if you have any successes, let me know. Either down below, you can always email me, hit me up on Twitter, or hit us up in our Discord channel as well. That being, again, the website is FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Looking at this, the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. Might surprise you. These will change, by the way. These will change. So as of now, it's got Max Kepler, number 1. Number 2 is Randy Arozarena, who's looked absolutely like dog water this year. Isaac Paredes, and number 3. Number 4 is Jorge Soler. Number 5 is Austin Slater. Number 6 is Matt Olson. 7 is Wilmer Flores. 8 is Yandy Diaz. 9, Michael Conforto. 10, Francisco Lindor. 11, Carlos Santana. 12 is Pete Alonso. 13 is Lars Nootbaar. 14 is Ronald Acuna. 15 is Cedric Mullins. 16 is Ryan O'Hearn. 17 is Adley Rutschman, so like in the Baltimore Orioles there. 18, Matt Chapman. 19, Jose Ramirez. And number 20, Corey Seager. Now, ones that jump out right now for home run, like prop bets for home runs, Patrick Bailey against Quinn Priester is plus 1567. That's high. That is one. Another one is Michael Conforto is plus 747. Another one is Matt Olson against a lefty and Logan Allen, 446. Pete Alonso against Mikolas is plus 441. Matt Chapman against Priester is plus 1076, and Adley Rutschman against Ross Stripling is plus 1011. So those are just some of them. If you want to see the rest, the MLB tab, we've got it all. We've got player projections, simulations, Vegas odds, batter splits, BVP matchups, stolen base targets, our cheat sheet, of course. It's got the top plays. We've got about 6 to 7 plays at each position until we get to the outfield. Then it's about 12 to 14, and all of these are for cash. Then we have the same thing for tournaments. We got your tournament picks there. We've got the top 10 stacks of the day on there. We've got the weather tab. We've got examples of some lineups there as well. We've got it all for you. If you've been wondering, go check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know what to do. Hit us up down below. Email us. We will listen. Try to take some feedback. If you guys want to see something in these videos, if you want to see something on the website or in the Discord, let me know. I forgot to mention, in the Discord, we do core plays as well in there for both FanDuel, DraftKings. We do our core plays. We do some other plays as well. People come in and say they like X, Y, and Z for prop bets. We do that as well. So that's what we've got. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you had a great Thursday. I hope you have an even better Friday. And tomorrow's the weekend, and we cannot wait. So good luck on this slate. And as always, let's bring up some bacon. Peace.